We've lost many stars who appeared on Three's Company, but these actors have left behind impressive resumes. From roles in The Producers and Star Trek to a gig as Katharine Hepburn's masseuse, this is what these Three's Company stars did before they passed away. John Ritter, who played Jack Tripper on Three's Company, died of an aortic dissection at age 54 in Burbank, California. He became ill while on the set of his ABC sitcom 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, as the Chicago Tribune reported. He was eventually taken to Providence St. Joseph Medical Center for surgery and died around 10 p.m. on September 11, 2003. His Three's Company co-star Joyce DeWitt spoke about the loss of Ritter, saying, "I'm shocked and heartbroken and so sad for his family. I cannot find words to express my sorrow. Such a great loss to the joy in the world." Ritter's widow, Amy Yazbek, along with their children, filed a wrongful death suit against Providence St. Joseph Medical Center in 2004. They claimed the staff incorrectly said that Ritter was having a heart attack and rejected his pleas for a second opinion.
And the doctor said, very dismissively, "There's no time for a second opinion. You're in the middle of having a heart attack."
But in 2008, people reported that a California jury determined his doctors weren't negligent in the late actor's death. It was also revealed that Ritter didn't follow up with a specialist after one of them advised him to do so after having a body scan. On February 24, 2006, the television world lost a comedic genius in Don Knotts. The veteran actor died on that day at the age of 81 at Los Angeles UCLA Medical Center due to lung cancer. Knotts, a native of West Virginia, played landlord and wannabe playboy Ralph Furley on Three's Company. He replaced the original landlords Norman Fell and Audra Lindley after they left for their spin-off series, The Ropers. As many probably know, Knotts was most well known for playing the lovable Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show, with the titular star telling the Washington Post, "Don meant everything. Don made the show." His Three's Company co-star Joyce DeWitt spoke about Knotts on Larry King Live after his death, saying, "We were absolutely astounded that this amazing, creative, extraordinary talent had agreed to come and join our cast. And of all the people that you would ever meet in Hollywood, Don was absolutely the most unassuming, graceful, gracious man you could ever know." During the time between The Andy Griffith Show and Three's Company, Knotts left TV to work on the big screen, starring in films such as The Incredible Mr. Limpet in 1964, the hilariously titled The Reluctant Astronaut in 1967, and The Apple Dumpling Gang and its sequel in the 1970s. Anne Wedgeworth played Lana Shields, the older neighbor whose daily mission was to create some hanky-panky with John Ritter's character Jack Tripper. According to The Hollywood Reporter, she died in 2017 in her New York City area home at 83 after suffering from a lengthy illness. Wedgeworth appeared on the show in season 4, but was gone after just 9 episodes. She had also discussed being abruptly let go and shared how difficult it was, saying to People in 1980, "It was horrifying. I had no warning or explanation. Suddenly everyone was very cold to me. I went to tell John goodbye and he was shocked. No one had told him." Before ever lusting after Ritter's character, Wedgeworth acted on Broadway, appearing in the show Make a Million in 1958. She also nabbed a Tony Award for Best Performance by a Featured Actress for playing Faye Medwick in the 1977 Neil Simon play, Chapter 2. One of her film credits is 1973's Scarecrow, which also starred Gene Hackman and Al Pacino. And on the small screen, she played Merlene Eldridge on Evening Shade. William Pierson played the demanding Dean Travers at Jack Tripper's cooking school from 1977 to 1981.
If you do well here, it will help you whenever you look for work. Thank you, sir. And if you screw up, Tripper...
According to the San Diego Union Tribune's legacy, he died in Newton, New Jersey of respiratory problems in 2004 at the age of 78. Pierson appeared in memorable episodes of the show, including one where his on-screen niece takes Tripper's cooking class and offers to exchange some romantic time for an A grade. Besides Three's Company, Pierson is also known for playing Marco the Mailman in the 1953 film Stalag 17 and in the previous Broadway production by the same name. He was in another classic 80s sitcom, Different Strokes, and in Billy Joel's video for We Didn't Start the Fire. In fact, he had been acting on either stage, film, or television since 1947. Paul Ainsley was a pretty important character on Three's Company, Jim the bartender. It's not that he said a whole lot, but he was the person who kept the drinks flowing at the bar while the main characters voiced out their problems. According to Playbill, Ainsley died on January 19, 2013, at the age of 67. Besides the 80s sitcom, he also played King Herod in the first Broadway production of Jesus Christ Superstar in 1971, and he appeared in the 1981 production of The Pirates of Penzance as well. Other acting credits include guest spots on Wings, Babylon 5, and The Bold and the Beautiful. Ainsley spoke about his time on Three's Company 6 years before his death, saying in a 2007 interview for Just My Show, "That was my first gig, and that was at basic minimum nothing because I had no lines, no nothing. For some reason, the casting person and some other powers that be decided that I should come back when I was available." Brad Blaisdell played Mike the bartender for 3 seasons on Three's Company after Paul Ainsley's character left. Then, after the show, Blaisdell appeared on other series, including Knots Landing, Matlock, and ER. According to the Los Angeles Times Legacy, he died of cancer on December 26, 2018, at 69, and was survived by his wife and daughter. Blaisdell was also a singer and appeared in the Broadway shows I Love My Wife and Going Up. He once talked about how kind people were to him on Three's Company, saying on Just My Show in 2007, "It was my first job in Los Angeles in front of a camera. They couldn't have been nicer to me. Actually, I've never met another human being as nice as John Ritter." In Three's Company, many episodes focused on the relationship between landlord Stanley Roper, played by Norman Fell, and the main characters. Fell died of cancer on December 14, 1998, in Woodland Hills, California, as reported by The Washington Post. He was on the ABC sitcom from 1977 to 1979 before joining his TV wife Audra Lindley in their own spin-off, The Ropers. He also won a Golden Globe in 1979 for his work as Stanley Roper. But before the award and the Three's Company fame, Fell appeared in a bunch of TV shows and movies, including the original Charlie's Angels and 1978's The End. It was Stanley Roper, however, that Fell is most remembered for. This is probably a good thing, since he considered the role one of his favorite parts, once telling the American Forces Network, "Stanley Roper was a great character to play. It was like sticking your head above a fence. You can suddenly breathe and really carry on. It was a whole new approach for me to do bizarre things." Similar to Norman Fell, Audra Lindley appeared in a long list of TV shows and films, but is mostly known for her work on Three's Company. She played Helen Roper, who was thirsty for some physical attention from her husband.
Honestly, if I want anything done around here, I have to do it myself. And that includes just about everything.
Lindley died of leukemia on October 16, 1997, in Los Angeles, California, at 79 years old. The Los Angeles Times reported that she worked up until 1 month before her passing, filming an episode of the sitcom Sybil. Lindley appeared on Three's Company from 1977 to 1979, before joining Fell in their spin-off, The Ropers, but the role nearly cost her a part in the 1982 film Cannery Row. In an interview with Bobby Wygant, she said, "Director David Ward saw some tape of Helen Roper and said, 'She's not right at all.' But Lindley got the part of Fauna Flood anyway, which is just one of the many film roles she's had during her nearly 60-year career." Peter Mark Richman played a reverend on Three's Company, who happened to be Chrissy Snow's dad. Richman died of natural causes on January 14, 2021, in Woodland Hills, California, at 93 years old. The Hollywood Reporter shared a statement from the actor's TV daughter, Suzanne Summers, who said, "Comedy is musical. Peter Mark Richman and I understood the music from the very first time we appeared together on Three's Company. He knew his stuff. We lost a good one." Richman also played a lawyer named Andrew Laird on Dynasty from 1981 to 1984, and made guest appearances on The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Charlie's Angels, and Star Trek, to name a few. He once talked about snagging the Reverend Snow role on Three's Company, and revealed that it ended because Summers was fired, telling Fox News in 2018, "She wanted $150,000 per show. That finished me off, and that finished her off. But I wasn't too surprised she was fired, but she seemed surprised." When Mickey Deems died at 88 years old, Three's Company fans took to Twitter to mourn him. Deems played numerous characters on the series, and even showed up on the spin-off, The Ropers. One of his first television appearances came in 1959 on The Phil Silvers Show, which led to a long career that stretched into the 80s. Deems also acted on stage, appearing in the 1959 Broadway show Golden Fleecing, 1960's Vintage 60, and the off-Broadway production of Anything Goes in 1962. In 1969, perhaps foreshadowing his role on the sitcom, Deems was in a TV movie titled Three's a Crowd. The actor reportedly communicated with the TV Party blog before his 2014 death, sharing that he started in entertainment as a musician and transitioned to comedy after World War II. He was also known for creating and starring in the sitcom Mack and Meyer for Hire. Rod Colbin was featured on an episode of Three's Company as Cindy Snow's boss, Mr. Hadley. His character was caught cheating on his wife, resulting in this memorable line from the show.
Happened to walk in on sexy Sheila and your boss, and Mr. Hadley was behaving badly.
Colbin, who also played Janet Wood's boss in a different episode, and Helen Roper's brother-in-law in The Ropers, died in Denver, Colorado in 2007, according to Variety. He was 83 years old. Before landing on Three's Company, Colbin had numerous roles in TV shows. One of his first acting credits was 1951's Somerset Maugham TV Theater. He also appeared in an episode of The Twilight Zone in 1986. Some of his film credits include Frankenstein's Aunt Tilly, John Huss, and Yes, Giorgio. But perhaps Colbin was best known in Hollywood as an expert fencer, since he taught James Dean and Marlon Brando how to handle a sword for films. Plus, as reported by Variety, Colbin had a job as Katharine Hepburn's masseuse. Even though he appeared in just one episode of Three's Company as Jack Tripper's father, it's safe to say that Dick Shawn made an impression on fans that will probably never disappear. In that episode, he pays a surprise visit to Jack, only for his son to tell him to butt out of his life after meddling. But Jack and his dear old dad were able to patch things up by the episode's end. Shawn died of a heart attack in 1987 at 63 years old while performing on stage at the University of California, San Diego. The Associated Press said the audience thought it was part of the show until his son Adam requested assistance and a doctor helped. The late actor's career began in the 1950s, and he has at least 66 acting credits to his name. Some include playing Adolf Hitler in Mel Brooks's The Producers and Sylvester Marcus in It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World in 1963. On TV, he's been in everything from The Lucy Show to Captain Kangaroo to Laverne and Shirley to Magnum P.I. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite sitcom stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.